What do I think?
Yeah.
Well, I probably don't know too much about it, but there's an awful lot of real estate. I don't know if it's being used effectively, if there's opportunities to house homeless people or things like that, potentially, I don't know.
I guess sort of provide support and like food. I think that's like a major concern right now, especially in this weather.
Well, with all the money people are giving them, like going to church on Sundays, sometimes they can give it to poor people, then right now it's like freezing cold, so maybe open in the church, have like beds, like you know where all the priests are and something, have bunk beds and things like that to help them, and then you know give them a roof during the day maybe, because it's kind of warm in churches now, so yeah, that's what they could do. Okay.
What could they do more? I don't know. I think with the confines of their budget and stuff like that, they're already doing quite a lot at home anyway. So, like with homeless shelters and raising funds and stuff like that, I'm not quite sure on a religious level what they could do.
Yeah, getting people off the street is the first priority, and helping them get their lives back together, you know. Really, that's what they should be doing. I know it's hard because of funding, but you know, you can do a lot that doesn't really cost a lot, if you know what I mean.
Well, as far as I know, the church is a pretty wealthy organisation as a whole, especially the Catholic Church. And I think because the government's not doing enough to house the homeless, I don't see any reason why the church can't be setting up the very least shelters, taking over properties, renting properties, and providing beds and accommodation and warmth and food for the homeless.
Open up at night, so people can come in and not sleep outside on the street.
There was a guy, so it's a bit rambling, but there's a guy on the news the other day, I can't remember who, but he opened up the doors of his church for homeless people to sleep, and it was kind of become like a refuge. I thought that was maybe small gestures, like, well it's not small, but something like that is quite interesting, just on the grassroots level.
I think they should have few gatherings telling people how people are suffering and how they could help the other people within the UK in terms of housing the homeless, and few more, you know, kind of social gatherings. They should have few more social gatherings within the church.
Getting people off the streets and into accommodation.
Open their doors, let them in at night time, give them shelter in the cold. Sorry mate, busy.
That's it. Sweet. Thanks. Perfect.
I think for me it's one of the core callings of the church is to reach out to the poor and needy, and I think we need to be teaching it more. We need to be teaching the importance of it. The church has a huge volunteer base potentially that they could release to be able to go out in the community to support projects that are already there, to look at ways to set up projects to meet the needs locally, and I think it's important that people begin to understand the needs of their local community.
Bye. No, I don't know how to answer that question. All I do know is that my understanding of Jesus' message was that at the heart of theology should be a desire to help the poor and love the poor.
The need to go back to Jesus. What was Jesus' attitude to the marginalised, the poor, the lame, the widows, the orphans? And if the church has got to recapture what the spirit of Jesus in their attitude to people and to the structures of the society in which we live, people's attitudes have got to change, and only God can do that by His Holy Spirit.
It's about using the example of Jesus. It's about feeding the hungry. It's about giving accommodation to people who who need it. It's about fulfilling the Great Commission, about going out and basically being Jesus' hands and feet. So that if the church isn't doing that, it's not doing its basic. It's not fulfilling its basic function in my view.
Yeah, just get out there, stop sitting on the pews and actually have compassion and meet your fellow neighbour and then help them. Simple. Keep it simple.